Hi, I'm Bill Bryant, Georgia Appalachian Trail Club. I'm a trail ambassador and I was a 3-time ridge runner, so I've seen a lot of hikers out here on the trail and seen thousands of ways people hike their hikes. So I want to encourage you to find your own way when you're out here, but I want to talk about how many miles per day makes sense for Georgia. And the answer is it varies. For a well-conditioned, experienced hiker with a decent pack weight, they might do 6 or 7 days through Georgia, but that's quite aggressive. It means you're in really good condition and the weather cooperates with you. More typical is 8 to 10 days to get through Georgia. It's a good pace. It'll take you from shelter to shelter and give you plenty of time to recover overnight for the next day. So think about that. For the less experienced hiker, someone who maybe this is their first significant long backpacking trip and they're still getting used to their gear and working on their pack weight, you might think about a 10 to 12 mile a day range to get through Georgia. So think about all those factors. What's the weather like? How's your pack weight doing? Be realistic about your own personal condition and take things one step at a time to figure out the best way to get through the trail in Georgia. I also want to talk a little bit about hike your own hike. It has a lot of meanings. One of those is to really take care of yourself and make sure that you understand your condition and your abilities out here, and that you constantly think about what's right for me today, and don't let the influence of others impact how you hike. Sometimes you'll get caught up in the excitement of the trail or join a tramley that's moving faster than you are, and that's great for a day or two, but then you may find out you've made a mistake and your body can't handle that. So be very aware of how you're doing that and how you're hiking your hike, so that it's really your hike and your success on the trail and not something that might lead to you getting off the trail. There's some other meanings for hike your own hike, and part of that is not to impact the hike of others. So it's great to pick where you sleep at night and how much you carry for weight and what sort of side trail activities you enjoy, those sorts of things. But it's not okay to do things that might impact other hikers' experience out here. So be thoughtful about things like noise on the trail, use earbuds and not speakers, think about etiquette in the shelters and making noise there and allowing room, and just paying attention to the right way to behave in that aspect of it, and be sensitive to any other behaviors you might have that could be sensitive to others or families or young children out here, and just pay attention. So your hike is great, and so is the hike of others. Hi, it's Bill again, and I've been walking up through this beautiful rhododendron green tunnel. By April, this will be so dense you'll have nothing but shade, but it's a great experience to walk through these tunnels as you hike the Appalachian Trail in Georgia. One thing I wanted to mention at this point was we've been hiking for a while, and at some point during your hike you want to get off the trail and take a break, and a really good break is a 0 day. And people usually start thinking about that by the time they get to Dix Creek, not too much further up ahead. 0 days when you go in one afternoon, take the entire next day off, and then hike again on the second morning. Hiawassee is a great little town for that. They have lots of restaurants, all you can eat, hotels, and other services. But one thing to keep in mind during the peak of the season here in Georgia is all of the resources are quite busy. Shuttle drivers, motels, those sorts of things. So always plan in advance. Get a good phone number, call maybe a day ahead to schedule a shuttle driver, just so you know you've got that ride when you really need it. The weather is a big factor too, and try to look at the weather and schedule your 0 day when it's going to be a really nasty day out on the trail if you can do that. There's other towns like Helen and Blairsville further south of here, and there's cabins and hostels at Neels Gap and some other places. So check your guides and make good decisions on how to take care of yourself as you finish up this last half of Georgia.
Hi, I'm John Turner with the Georgia Appalachian Trail Club. Thanks, Bill, and thanks to all the GATC members who helped us produce this series, introducing you to the Georgia section of the Appalachian Trail. I'm here at Dix Creek Gap, Highway 76, and if you've made it this far, and many attempted would-be hikers don't make it this far, you will have done really well, and you have probably had some tough days, you've probably had some good days. All of that experience is going to be very valuable for you as you head north and face much more difficult challenges on your way to Katahdin. A short distance from here, down the highway, is a hostel, and then a few more miles to the west is the little trail town of Hiawassee that Bill mentioned a few minutes ago. To the north, 9 miles from here, is the North Carolina state line, and that's always a big moment for thru-hikers to reach their first state boundary. So you have that to look forward to. The next best place to get off the Appalachian Trail is Winding Stair Gap, Highway 64, and that's 40 trail miles from here. So before you leave Dix Creek, you need to be supplied with food. Make sure you've got an adequate supply of food. Take care of any medical issues you might have, gear, that kind of thing. And you'll be climbing your first 5,000 footers in the Nantahala National Forest. We hope that you found our series of videos to be useful and informative, and we hope you'll consider becoming a member of the Georgia Appalachian Trail Club. If that's too much of a level of commitment for you, please consider becoming a friend of the Appalachian Trail in Georgia. You can find us at our website, www.georgia-atclub.org. Best wishes for a wonderful thru hike. Be safe, and as the Irish say, may the trail rise up to meet you.
The Georgia Appalachian Trail Club manages, maintains, and protects the Appalachian National Scenic Trail in Georgia with volunteers from its membership and the interested public. Our club promotes the appreciation of the Appalachian Trail and natural outdoor places through education and recreational activities with an emphasis on conservation ethics and protection of the forests, their natural resources, and wilderness areas.